Hello, my name is Julie, and God used RLI to give me my life back after 22 years of illness. Life before the RLI conference consisted of 18 to 20 hours of sleep a day, constant pain in my joints and muscles, a social phobia that kept me home except for church on Sundays, and intercessory prayer group every other Saturday. Even though I showed up to both events, I usually slept through them, sitting up in a pew or chair. I had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia 20 years earlier. I lived life in constant pain and was on heavy doses of pain medication. 4 months before the conference, I had 2 car accidents that resulted in 2 concussions. I also lived in emotional torment and a diagnosis of bipolar disorder that kept me anxious, depressed, and on a handful of medications every morning and evening. I came to the conference reluctantly on the advice of a friend from church that had been through the conference several times. I showed up on Friday night with my husband, my gallon of iced tea, and my heating blanket. I sat in a far corner away from the group. My husband had agreed to come for the weekend to help me get oriented and to teach me how to drive from the hotel to the church. Because of the accidents, I also had a phobia concerning driving. I had driven only when necessary for the preceding 4 months. Even though I was a born-again Christian, I could not stand to listen to Christian music and found it very hard to worship. My prayer life was sporadic and my relationship with God was strained. I was angry, bitter, and lived in fear. The conference I attended was in January. It was bitter cold and snowy. My husband stayed with me for the weekend, then left to go back home after Sunday evening's ministry. During the conference, I slowly began to change. The change was evident to everyone who was there. My pain levels began to decrease, and my personality changed slowly. By Tuesday night, I no longer had any pain. It was amazing to me because I had lived in pain for so many years. I was astounded and so thankful to God. I began to worship with zeal. The turning point for me, emotionally, was when it really sunk into my brain and my spirit that the God of the universe loved me. He really, truly loved me. Since the conference, my fibromyalgia has not returned. My moods are balanced, and our home is so much more peaceful because I do not take offense to everything. I am not living life bitter, angry, or fearful. I live in peace and joy and without constant fibromyalgia pain.